Okay, so let's go into a quick grammar point. So I mentioned earlier in the idioms and phrases and the vocabulary section that we would talk about comparisons during today's grammar point. So comparisons, how do you compare one thing to something else? Okay, there are many different ways to do comparisons, but an easier way or an easy way to do comparisons is using the following. Okay, for short words, okay, we can go ahead and add an ER to short words. Okay, so if the word has one syllable, hot, cold, for example, you can just go ahead and add an ER to the end, and then you can use the word than for your comparison. Okay, so fast becomes faster, easy becomes easier. Okay, the train is faster than the bus. Okay, learning Japanese is easier than learning English. Okay, so for our short words, one syllable words, that's going to be fast becomes faster, easy becomes easier. Okay, for our longer words, those are going to be words with maybe 2 or 3 syllables. We're going to use the word more, but we're going to put it at the beginning of the word instead of adding it to the end. So for example, expensive, it has 1, 2, 3 syllables, expensive. It's a long word, we're going to use the word more. More expensive. Okay, difficult, 3 syllables. Okay, so now we're going to use the word more. We'll put it at the beginning of the sentence. More difficult. Okay, so let's do some examples real quick. Let's see here. Gucci is more expensive than Nike. Okay, going to Hawaii is more expensive than going to Guam. Okay, let's do an example with more difficult. Learning Japanese is more difficult than learning English. For me, I don't know about you. Okay, so we can also do the comparison. Let's go. Learning English is easier than learning Japanese, but more difficult than learning Chinese. So you see how you can combine those two different types of phrases. Okay. Taking the Shinkansen is faster than taking the bus, but it's also more expensive. Okay, so you see how I did that? Taking the Shinkansen is faster than the bus, but it is also more expensive. So what I want you to try and do is, one, do the simple comparisons with the ER with the one syllable words. Fast, faster, easy, easier, cold, colder, hot, hotter. Okay, and then try and once you get familiar with that, go to some longer syllable words. Expensive, more expensive, difficult, more difficult, delicious, more delicious. Okay, and then once you start to become familiar with those two, combine the two. Okay, faster than, but more expensive. Easier than, but more difficult than. Okay, so I have some samples in the section below. Comparisons are really, really good because they can expand your vocabulary, it can expand your grammar knowledge, it can just take your speaking ability from beginner to intermediate or intermediate to advanced really, really quickly. So make sure that you practice these comparisons, make sure that you can speak them also make sure that you can understand them because they are used very frequently